Hi, I'm Kathleen Kastner. Welcome to Vegan Vitality. Today we're going to make no-bake strawberry cheesecake bars from the website called Iowa Girl Eats. You gotta love that website title. So this is truly the best dessert I've ever made in my 14 years of being vegan. And my husband behind the camera will attest.
Yummy.
So it does involve a few more steps than normal, but I promise it's worth it, okay? So first we're going to start with our crust, which we're going to use medjool dates. And dates are high in potassium and they have iron. So she says to pack 1 cup full of dates. So you want to pit it first. Make sure you don't measure your 1 cup with the pit still in it. So I've already done it, but I'm going to do one more here. So you want to open it up, take out the pit, and take off the little end as well. Because once you put it in your food processor, there'll be a loud storm going on in there. So you want to do that. So what I did is I packed it all down for 1 cup, put it in the food processor, and I have to be honest with you, I used to shy away from recipes. If they said food processor, forget it. It was too much work for me, but now I've embraced the food processor because it does make a lot of fun and delicious desserts. So I packed my 1 cup, again about 22 dates, blend them in the food processor, and this is what it looks like when it's done. And now we add 1.5 cups of walnuts, and walnuts have omega-3s and also a good source of plant protein. So I am going to blend this on the air, which will be a little bit loud. And you want to make it into a meal, so you don't want to break it down to sand. You want to have it to have a little bit of consistency. Okay, and let's check it out. Let's go just a little bit more. And if you don't have walnuts, you could substitute pecans. I've done that before and it was delicious. Okay, so that looks great. Now we're going to add back our blended dates to the walnuts. And these 2 ingredients only will make up our crust. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to take it. You're going to use an 8x8 pan, and then she suggests to use parchment paper, which is going to be a little loud, but I used parchment paper before and it actually did really help. So you can keep blending this actually to where it forms into a ball. I think I'm going to give it one more go. Make sure the nuts and dates are thoroughly mixed together. Okay, that looks really good. So you're going to get your hands dirty, and then we're just going to slowly pack it in to our 8x8 pan. So you have it evenly spread out, and then once you're done, you're going to put it in the freezer, and then come back and join me for step number 2. So while our crust is in the freezer, we're going to make the filling of the cheesecake, which in my opinion is genius when it comes to vegan desserts. The 2 main ingredients that's going to make it look like cheesecake are cashews and coconut milk. So we're going to start with our cashews, which are a great source of plant protein. So you're going to use 1 1/2 cups of cashews, and she suggests soaking them for 6 to 8 hours. So that's up to you. I've soaked them just for an hour before, and things usually turn out. But if you know you're going to make it the next day, just get your cashews and fill it with water and set it in the fridge overnight. So I've already drained them. I'm going to put them in my blender, a Blend Tech that I love from Costco. It's very beaten up. And then we're going to use coconut milk, and you can use full fat or half fat. I like Simple Truth Organic, and I get the light for what it's worth. It's all good. The full fat's probably more fun. And let's see, it's a cup. So I've already measured out our cup. Some plant fat. And then the sweetener is maple syrup. And I get organic maple syrup also from Costco. And this is a half a cup. And the other ingredients, which I already added, is 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla makes everything amazing. 3 tablespoons of coconut oil or olive oil. Excuse me, I love coconut oil. I like the flavor. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I get this organic lemon juice from Costco, or you can just use 1 lemon in the directions and squeeze all the juice out of your lemon. So we have all the ingredients here combined, and we will blend them, and this will be our amazing cheesecake filling. Okay, let's take a peek. Looks amazing. And now we're going to take our crust out of the freezer. So it doesn't matter if it was just a few minutes. You just want to have it in there while you're making the filling. So when I pressed our date walnut crust, it ended up looking like this. And then we take our filling and pour it on top. And just evenly distribute it throughout the 8x8 pan. And if you have any air bubbles, try to get them out. So it is very simple. Just a few ingredients make such an amazing, amazing dessert. I promise it's worth your efforts. So then the recipe suggests that you cover it in plastic wrap and stick it in the freezer. So that's what we're going to do. And you can freeze it anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. She says you can also refrigerate it, but I find that freezing it makes it much, much better. So if you know you're going to do this for a party, which I'm doing right now, make sure you give yourself 3 hours to let it solidify, and then we will add our strawberry topping when we return. So welcome back. Now we are making the strawberry topping. So you want to chop up, cut off the tops, and chop up 2 cups of strawberries and put it in a small pot with 3 tablespoons of water. And then we also have added 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, and then 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And if you are allergic to corn, you can also use arrowroot. So you're going to cook it on your stove for 3 to 4 minutes, and then really mash it with the back of a spoon and cook it a little longer. And then technically you actually want to put this in the refrigerator and let it cool off completely before you pour it over your frozen cheesecake and crust. And then once it's cooled down, you're going to just layer the top here with this beautiful strawberry topping. And now mine is hot because I'm on a time crunch and have to get it going. So if you do have to do it when it's hot, you can put it back in the freezer for a bit and let it cool off. And then you'll cut it in squares, and it'll look like a little cheesecake bite. And you can add a little strawberry on top. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy this awesome recipe, and thanks always for saving animals with your food choices.